this Maestro camera is completely unbreakable. So here's how you place it down. First of all, you want to vault on top of this table. Then with your bailiff out, you're going to get on top of the TV, just like this. From here, you're going to sprint as fast as you can to get on top of this file cabinet. And then if you crouch while looking at these boxes, you should eventually get a vault prompt that allows you to get on top of this wall, just like that. From here, look as high as you possibly can and place your Maestro camera. Attackers will not have the time to not only figure that out, but do it without getting shot, making it to where this Maestro camera never gets grenaded or meleeed. The cool thing about that camera, though, is it can see the default plants to the right as well as anybody planting on the left side. If you're really expecting them to push this site, though, then make feet holes all along this wall and put a Maestro cam looking into those feet holes. These feet holes are pretty default and allow you to shoot anybody that's here, but this Maestro camera can zap anybody planting in the default spot as well as anybody in the 90 hall. For your last camera, you'll want it somewhere in the other site. I personally like putting it on this cabinet here. Most attackers will never see this Maestro camera as their crosshair is usually to the right, but when they go for a plant in this position, your Maestro camera can easily zap them, making it to where you can cover every default plant on this objective. Now that was just one out of 28 solo queue strats that feel illegal because of how good they are to use. The second of which is for hookah on coastline if you're attacking with Flores. What most people don't know when defending this bomb site is there are air ducts above Cool Vibes that you can send Flores drones down through or grenades down through, as well as an air duct that goes into the aqua bar. Typically, because there's a bunch of bulletproof utility here, whether it be barbed wire on the staircase or a deployable shield in vase, as a Flores, you can abuse these vents on the roof. By going into the most northern vent here, you can easily get any utility that's on the staircase or in vase. By using the air duct on the south side of the building, you can get anybody that's sitting behind the aqua bar or get any utility inside of billiards. If the hookah window is open, you can also send a Flores drone onto the hookah balcony and jump it into the windowsill to kill that utility too in hookah. And if all else fails, you can simply drive your Flores drone through the door right here, especially if it's closed, and get a zombie barricades or deployable shields that way. Abusing Flores on this site for a solo queue strat wins me a lot of rounds, and you should try it in your next rank game. Something else you need to try is this send strat for attacking kitchen on chalet. When you're attacking kitchen, a lot of the times you'll get this kitchen wall open and go for a plant behind the bomb chassis or behind the ammo crates in dining. To help you out with this, there are two insane sends lineups that you can activate later in the round due to the sends rework that recently just got implemented. The first one you can do right out of spawn. All you have to do is simply roll it through this drone hole just like this, and now that laser gate is set for later. Another sends wall you can set from outside is through this drone hole that goes along the west main chase. That gate will travel through both of these drone holes and make it to where not only that kitchen door is blocked, but the west main door is blocked too. This makes it to where if you ever want to go for a plant in dining, you can activate your ability and every angle is blocked off, allowing you to plant a lot easier. I also recommend placing a sends gadget through bar just like this, as well as a sends gadget on top mezzanine like this. That way, when you activate your sends gadgets going for a plant, you have your upstairs flank covered that you can easily watch, and your hallway flank covered that you can also easily watch, making it to where you have a very easy plant and post plant. The sends rework has yet to be figured out by the majority of players, so if you use this strat, you will be ahead of the curve. Something else that will put you ahead of the curve is this frost strat for ventilation of border. The first thing you'll need is a bulletproof camera. I know most of you like bringing a deployable shield, but this is one exception. You're going to put your bulletproof camera on this drywall inside of the site. This will become important later, because your next step is going to be meleeing this piece of drywall and putting a frost mat inside of it. Putting a mat inside of the drywall will make it pretty much invisible, so when people see this bulletproof camera and they go to melee it, they will actually get stuck in your frost mat. That's pretty much the majority of the strat, but just in case you want to know where the other two mats are, I have you covered. The second mat is going to go in vent. All you have to do is put it to the right of this doorway. The reason this is good is because when they walk in just like this, they're going to hold the left and maybe go for a plant, or when they walk in the door, one of their legs will get caught on this mat as they're walking through, which is great for anybody rushing the bomb site. They also can't even shoot this frost mat from the window, so it stays alive most of the round. For the final frost mat, I actually recommend you place it under the teller's window. This frost mat, paired up with feet holes for bathroom, allows you to sit in bathroom and kill anybody in your frost mat, or at least kill anybody shooting your frost mat when they hop in. And you're still next to your rotate, so you can rotate back to site if need be. I don't know about you, but an invisible frost mat definitely feels illegal. Just like this Aruni strat for the top floor of layer. For this strat, make sure you have a vaultable rotate in between the main site and server. From there, come into server and reinforce the right side of the double wall, and put head holes on the left. With these head holes and this common vaultable rotate, you're able to sit all the way in display and watch the breach walk in for anybody trying to go for the default plant. If you make the rotate just a little bit wider than normal, however, you're able to even watch the breach as they walk in through that, making this angle very, very good, and nobody ever expects it in my ranked games. To protect yourself, just put in a runegate on the display window, put in a runegate on your 90 door, and for your team, put in a runegate on the main site door. Now you have a great strat that's pretty safe to play with an almost unkillable angle that nobody knows about. Something else people don't know about is this Cali angle for attacking the top floor of Bank. To do this angle, all you have to do is rappel up to these windows on the left side of the main entrance. From here, if you aim at this window in detention, not the left one, but the right one, you can easily see the janitor rotate, meaning that if you just get on this angle within the first 30 seconds in the round when people are still kind of setting up, you're usually able to get a free kill if you're not a total moron with your aiming. From these windows, you're also able to access all of the other site windows as well, being able to stop a bandit trick on the main wall, or being able to stop anybody from flanking your teammates on top square. Definitely one of the harder strats to pull off, but still something that's cool nonetheless. Something a lot less hard to pull off though is this Blackbeard strat for the top floor of Chalet. Now with the new and reworked Blackbeard, a lot of you know that you can just straight hop in through barricades that haven't even been touched, which is absolutely crazy. One thing you might not know though is not only does it work for doors, but if you're repelled and you're on a window, it also works by letting you just rappel through a window without damaging it either. So on the top floor of Chalet, you can abuse this by either having a teammate on your bathroom or a teammate in your trophy helping you push into solar like I just did, or by going in through the big window, which is much more friendly to my solo queue players. All you do is rappel up, don't even damage the window, press your spacebar, and now you're in and you can start ADSing people. Usually you'll catch one motherfucker lacking in master that you can easily catch, and then all you have to do is ADS piano, and it's free kills all day. Just like using Scopos for the basement of Clubhouse in Strip Club. If you're good at the game, you know that having somebody just sitting in Strip on defense for any site on Clubhouse, but specifically the basement, is very powerful. The reason for this being is most attackers in ranked, especially in solo queue, will not even bother droning or clearing Strip, which means that if attackers are trying to open the hatches upstairs, you can easily flank them from bar and get a free kill, or get kills in the kitchen hallway. The only issue is once you make your presence known, you're stuck here. There's no other route to get back to site. That is, unless you're playing Scopos. All you have to do if you're playing Scopos and Strip is play passive, shoot drones, and just make your presence known. Eventually, they'll get so annoyed and worried about a flank that they'll come and clear you, and if they don't, you'll just kill them. But let's say they do. Well, the second that you feel like you're going to die, all you have to do is simply teleport back to site, essentially making it to where there is no danger to you, and you're able to waste over 2 minutes of their time if you play your cards right, essentially taking away the one weakness of a Strip side roam and making this strat overpowered. Something else that's overpowered is silent air jabs. As you can hear, this air jab makes a lot of noise. So how do you make this air jab a lot less quiet so defenders don't hear it when they're going for a flank? All you have to do is put a punch hole in a wall just like this, and then put your air jab in that punch hole. Now, as you can clearly hear, the air jab is still loud, but this air jab right here through the punch hole is completely silent, making it to where if a defender were to walk through this hallway, they wouldn't hear the air jab and they'd still get triggered by the one through this punch hole, allowing you to effectively have completely silent air jabs. If you pair that air jab up with an air jab on top of this wall, all you have to do is flash into sight and go for a plant right here for an easy solo queue win for the top floor of Oregon. Just like this Maverick strat for pushing Big Tower. To do this strat, come into T2 of Big Tower. From here, make yourself a rotate on this wall. Once you've done that, make sure that you put a line directly on the right side of that rotate like this. This line will enable you to hug the right side of this wall and get a tight pixel onto anybody who is lower attic trying to contest you when you push to upper attic. Not only is that angle crazy, but if you prone on the wall just like this and start opening the wall, it allows you to stand on top of this staircase and shoot anybody who's contesting you from a prone angle just like that. If you also put holes slightly below head level on this wall just like this, not only can you stand in T2 and watch attic better, but you can also break the box that's on top of this dresser, crouch, look at the dresser for a vault prompt, and then you can lean to the left and sit behind this metal ladder, which will actually block your head from any bullets coming to you, making you bulletproof while still allowing you to shoot people lower attic. Once you're done getting kills from angles, you can easily throw flash grenades in just like this, and then push up, go for kills, pre-fire here as you drop, and you've essentially taken attic for free. Something else that's free is the round wind you'll get by doing this vigil strat for the basement of Nighthaven Labs. To do this, make sure obviously you have the exterior walls reinforced as well as the default left side of this wall to nano. Then make sure with an impact grenade you have a vaultable rotate on this wall here. Not only does it give you a rotate option while giving you angles onto the breach, but if people are planting in the default spot, you can easily hop out here and kill them as they're planting. But this isn't actually the reason you make a rotate for this strat. To show you what I mean, make your way into storage and put an impact hole right in front of this drone hole just like this. By making both of the impact holes I suggested and proning next to the drone hole in games, you're able to actually see the breach from upstairs through this drone hole just like this, for free kills if anyone tries to walk in for a plant. From an attacker's perspective, this is what it looks like. You're trying to not only go through that vert right there, but also go through the vert and through a drone hole that's right there all the way from this wall. And actually the only way you'd be able to do it is if you proned, and no attacker is going to do that because they don't even know this angle exists, making you get at least one free kill every round you do this strategy. Just like this next long angle for karaoke of skyscraper. If you want to defend karaoke, playing inside of shrine is a great idea because you can hold off house stairs, and with holes on your terrace wall, you can hold off the terrace door and the terrace window. But there's actually more angles you can abuse. By coming into samurai and putting a rotate on the left side of this wall, you're able to rotate easier for a roam. Pair that up with some feet holes next to the rotate, with feet holes on the exterior office wall, and feet holes on the minibar wall, you are now able to prone in dragon and see anybody's feet coming from outside the building on this balcony to your terrace door. This is really only going to help you early in the round when they're trying to roam clear you, but I still get at least a free kill every time I do it. Pair that up with barbed wire on your house stairs, and a Rooney gate on your VIP door, barbed wire on your bridge, and a Rooney gate on your drum door, and a Rooney gate on your black balcony door. You're essentially set for success in solo queue ranked for skyscraper. Let's move back to Oregon though and talk about this Scopo strat for the top floor. To do this immediately in the prep phase, you need to sprint to the top of attic. Then make yourself a rotate on the attic wall and immediately climb through this ladder up to T3. Then position yourself behind this blue sheet metal and teleport back to site. With this Scopos clone that was in site when you spawned in, you can come back to attic and reinforce these two attic walls here. Then find a safe location for this shell. Usually I put it in between the kids bunk and the wall here, and teleport back to T3. This is kind of like the strip club strategy for Clubhouse I talked about earlier. Essentially, you're going to waste as much time as you can here as possible. People love to do that Maverick strat I showed you earlier, so shooting people coming up the tower stairs or making your presence known from the T3 windows is great. But again, just like the strip club strat, the second you know you're probably about to die, all you have to do is teleport back to site, and you've wasted a bunch of time for free, which is what you should be aiming to do with Scopos anyways. But let's move on from Oregon for the rest of this video, and let's move on to Canal. To defend the top floor, you're going to bring Fenrir. For this strat, make sure that you break open this window on Skybridge and its glass. Then throw a Fenrir mine in this window, just like so, and re-barricade this window. Make sure then that your Fenrir mine is activated and break a small little sliver of the barricade, just like that. Now, if any attacker walks by this barricade, they're actually going to get Fenrir blinded, which makes it to where you can have a teammate or you swing from Skybridge to get a free kill on a blinded enemy. The coolest part about this is you can actually make a punch hole on this wall for green stairs and look at anybody walking into your Fenrir device from that far away. What's even better about that though is that you're going to be playing top green anyways, because your next Fenrir mine is going to go on the top of green stairs. From here, activate this mine, and now you can cover two places attackers love to rush with one operator from one position. You can also put a Fenrir mine on this light that covers the top of red stairs as well as this door, with your final Fenrir mine being somewhere for the breach. Then depending on where they push, you can deactivate one mine and reactivate another, essentially making it to where you can cover every point of entry with just one operator, which is why Fenrir is so good for this site specifically. Another site that Fenrir is great for is Armory and Throne for the bottom floor of Theme Park. Now, in my opinion, this is the most defender-sided site on the map if you don't have too many people that are roaming, and you have at least 2 people that are denying walls. The reason for this being is because if the walls stay closed, there's only 2 entrances to site. The Throne door, which you'll put your first Fenrir mine on, and the Split door, which you'll put your second Fenrir mine on that will also cover the site hatch. From here, you can cover literally every entrance into site, and even if, by mistake, one of these walls were to get opened, you have 2 more Fenrir mines you can use on the walls to make sure they can't even walk in through those walls. But that's not even the best part. because Fenrir also brings a bailiff. You can use this bailiff to open up the top of this yellow wall here, and with those holes, you can stand on top of this box and armory and shoot anybody's head coming down the yellow staircase. Fenrir also brings a bulletproof camera, and if you put it right next to this person's head on the wall, this bulletproof camera can watch anybody coming in through Split, as well as the drone hole that commonly people drone through. And for those reasons, I think this is one of Fenrir's best sights in the entire game. But let's move away from Fenrir and talk about this cage strat for the basement of Clubhouse. First of all, make sure that your kitchen hatch and your moto hatch are reinforced. From here, as Cade, you're able to actually trick both the moto hatch and the kitchen hatch. If you want to trick the moto hatch to keep killing as many Hibana pellets as possible, all you have to do is hop on top of this blue box. From here, you can sprint on top of these two cardboard boxes and put a Cade Claw on the ceiling directly above you. As you can see, that Cade Claw will electrify the moto hatch, and you can keep picking it up and putting it down to make sure no Hibana or Thatcher can open up this hatch from you. If they, however, rotate from the moto hatch, if you hear them rotating from this hatch to the other one, then all you have to do is rotate to armory. From here, get on top of this box and throw a Cade Claw directly under the hatch right here. This Cade Claw will electrify the kitchen hatch, and you can keep picking it up and throwing it back down to make sure no Hibana can open up the hatches. Most people don't know that you can just Cade trick these hatches over and over and over again, and I find that when I do this strat, they literally never get the hatches open, which is why I thought I'd share it for you. Another insane operator you can use for this bomb site is Azami. The best thing you can do as Azami is go over to this machine here and throw a Kiba barrier on it just like this. Then if you hop on top of this workshop table, you can easily uncrouch and shoot anybody coming down into blue. Pair this up by shooting out the cabinet here, and now you have a pixel angle onto the doorway that they will not be able to see you from. Your only worry now, obviously, is the kitchen hatch, because when you hop down, your feet are exposed to it being open. So just make sure in the prep phase you throw your second Azami barricade just like this. That will cover the hatch and make it to where they cannot shoot you. You also have to worry about anybody on your dirt door, so putting a Kiba on this blue generator like this will block you from that door as well. And it can also give you nasty angles through this metal grate here onto anybody inside of dirt. If you ever see any pro teams banning Azami on this map, this strategy is usually why. But this isn't even the craziest strategy for this bomb site I'm going over in this video. The best strat I actually have is with Capcan. In the prep phase, I want you to immediately go upstairs into bar. From here, come to the left side of this bar single and put 3 Capcan traps inside of this shelf. And put 3 Capcan traps on the left side of the door. These Capcan traps will actually blend in with this vending machine, and if they're the default skin Capcan traps, unlike my elite Capcan traps, they'll actually blend in with the vending machine. As a finished product, this is what it looks like, and from most attackers' point of view, those don't even look like Capcans, they just look like the side of the fridge, so a lot of the times you will get kills with this. Something else that can get you free kills is this insane glass angle I have for the bottom floor of Cafe. This is for attacking bakery. It's an insane angle that you can get by hopping on top of the back of this black car, standing on the very top of it, and looking onto anybody inside of bakery just like this. Most people don't know about this strat, but you can get at least a free kill off of it once or twice every round if nobody knows that it's there. For reference, this is the bullet hole that's going to represent my head. From a defender's point of view, that right there is the bullet hole. So they'd have to see your head right there in order to kill you. And a lot of the times, because defenders have 1x scopes, they're not going to see that. Whereas with my magnified scope, it's a lot easier. So most of the time with that angle, you actually have the advantage, especially if you're playing somebody with a magnified scope like glass. Moving it back to border, let's talk about this Azami strat for the top floor. To do this strat, all you have to do is crouch next to this reinforcement and head hole combo. From here, you're going to get as close to the reinforcement as you can, look down and throw your Azami as low as you possibly can on the reinforcement. From here, throw your Kiba and immediately look forward. Looking forward will make your gun block the Kiba from making a full circle. This is important later, because your next Azami barricade is going to go slightly above the red line of the middle of the reinforcement here. Now, that barricade, paired up with this barricade, allows you to shoot the soft wall just like this and get an angle onto anybody on the balcony for absolutely free. And unless they hit this very tight angle, these Kibas are going to protect you, especially when you take into consideration they're really going to be distracted by the fact that there's head holes here in the first place. From an attacker's point of view, this is what the angle looks like. And with most attacker guns having high amounts of recoil, they're not really going to be able to hit that pixel before you'll have the reaction time to kill them first, making this angle absolutely broken in your ranked games. Another place that you can use this exact same angle is the basement of Oregon. To do this, all you have to do is of course make the head holes on the left here with the reinforcement on the right. From here, follow the exact same rules where you throw the first Kiba just like this, and the second Kiba just like this. Then shoot open the wall here and make your angle, and you're able to see anybody looking into barrels. Who knows?
One op 4 remaining.
Am I a nerd, chat? Be honest. Am I a nerd? Am I a nerd, chat? Am I a nerd? Be honest. Am I a nerd, chat? Am I a nerd? Last one.
Nice, good shit.
I'm such a fucking nerd.
Dude, that is so crazy, bro.
Now, on my Twitch, I've actually tried this in 2v2 Bunker Wars against my chat, and as you can see, it clearly works, as demonstrated. By the way, make sure you follow the Twitch. Something else you should follow is this nitro cell you can use through the wall to deny the default plant on the top floor of Consulate. A very common strategy is an attacker will rappel on this window and cover a planter on this wall. If you try to throw a nitro cell at his feet like this, a lot of times it can miss, or you'll get shot by the person on the window. If you still want to deny this position with a nitro cell without being downstairs, all you have to do is shoot out this wooden floor here. From here, you can throw your nitro cell in the floor just like that, and that nitro cell will actually end up killing anybody on the other side. As you can see, I took damage from it literally just being right here, which means anybody here will be absolutely decimated. Something even more insane than that, though, is this Cali angle you need for attacking bathroom and tellers on border. To do this, all you need to do is prone next to this drone hole. Then you can look in this drone hole and essentially kill anybody that's inside bathroom. As you can see, this is my drone, and I'm able to clearly shoot my drone just like that. I can even go as far as to shoot people that is inside of bottom square. As you can see, that's my drone, and I'm able to kill it. I've gotten a few free kills here from just downing people through the drone hole, especially at the beginning of the round when they're still setting up and running across this drone hole. So I definitely recommend you give it a try. Another strat that can get you free kills is this Maverick angle for the basement of layer. If you're ever attacking the basement, you know how important it is to get the garage double open. But if you rappel on this wall and either soft breach open the wall or Maverick open the top left portion here, you can actually see above the big wall that separates garage and into the rocket hallway just like this. As you can see, those were my bullet holes, and from a defender's point of view, they'd have to shoot that angle right there, which they're never going to expect. Something else your enemies will never expect is this crazy long angle with Buck I'm about to show you for attacking laundry. To do this angle, first make sure that the games wall into Bull is open. Then make sure that this party wall is also open. These holes allow you to see into bathroom through the common head holes that are there, as well as into the sight rotate into laundry that's typically right there as well. This angle you can get is so crazy, and it's actually the number one reason why I recommend, if you're on defense, that you reinforce these games walls. These angles are also reversible too. If you end up opening these walls with an ace as well as opening those walls, you can get an angle all the way from laundry onto those walls and from bathroom as well. So make sure that if you're playing and attacking Outback, you are using these walls to your advantage. Something else you need to be abusing is the new Sens rework. So I have this insane solo Q strat for Sens for the top floor of Cafe. This strat really only works if you've already cleared out Piano and Cigar, so it's more of a late round strat. To do this, make sure that your Sens wall is already turned off by default and throw a wall next to the long bar just like this. This wall will come important later, but more importantly, you're also going to throw a Sens wall on top of the bar just like this. Now with these two walls in mind, you can activate them and go for a default plant right here. More importantly though, a layer on the bottom and the top is important, is because when you activate it, you're actually going to use this bomb chassis to rappel to the skylight. Once you're rappelled back onto the skylight, having that top layer actually protects you from anybody in freezer from shooting you, which makes this Sens strat so great because now you can sit all the way on the roof and deny anybody trying to destroy your diffuser. Something a lot easier to pull off is getting open this wall with thermite even if there's electricity on it. To do this, come into break room and go all the way on the right side of this soft wall and place your thermite breach. Then, even if these two walls are reinforced with electricity, the proximity of that explosion will open up half of this wall, allowing you to throw a smoke grenade to your left, covering your walk-in to go for a default plant right here in initiation. Once the bomb's down, you can easily re-smoke your hallway just like that and run back to your breach and cover your diffuser. It is usually a free round win if they don't shotgun out this portion of the wall. Now for the final strat in this video, I have an attacking ace strat for dining and kitchen on Villa. To do this strat, rappel into the first floor balcony. From here, open up the staircase window and throw an ace charge on the pantry wall just like this. This ace charge will allow you to get a huge cutoff into anybody playing inside of kitchen. For an even crazier cutoff, rappel onto the pantry window. Once you've broken open the window, you can shoot out the side portions of this cabinet here. Once you've done that, now you have an angle onto anybody in Tetris behind. Once you've done that, you have an angle onto anybody behind Tetris, which I find usually gets me a free kill in most rounds. From here, you can plant just like this in front of your breach. That way, if they defuse, you can shoot it from either this window or from this breach without them being able to long arm it regardless. With that out of the way, that's it for today's video. My name is Alka. Check out this next video, and I hope I'll see you there.